Hello, everyone, and welcome back to One Soccer. I'm your host for today, Josh Deming, joined by my colleague Alex Gongay-Ruzic, and our special guest for today, Promise David. Promise, I appreciate the time. This is my second time now chatting with you. Last time I chatted with you, you were in Estonia. Now you're in Belgium. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good.
So let's
Working hard.
working hard. Good. I
But yeah.
expect that. So let's kick off the conversation there then. Like I mentioned, I talked to you when you were in Estonia. There was a lot of transfer news around you. You ended up going to Belgium with Union Saint Gillois. How have you found your first few months there, and how are you finding the club so far?
When I first got there, it was like a big eye opener. I showed up straight to the medicals, getting all the procedure done. Saw the stadium, and to me, it was so cool because it's built in the middle of a forest. And for some reason, during night games, it's like I don't know, it's just completely beautiful. But the uh, the management, the staff at the team were very welcoming. They showed me their game plan essentially for what they want for me, and but I really didn't have no time to like wait. It was straight into preseason. Uh, so basically 2 a days right away. Ended up in Holland for a week, Portugal for a week as well, and then we really had to put our foot on the gas because we had the Super Cup before the beginning of the season, and I can't lie, like I'm happy here. It's a lot of work, but this is what everybody dreams to do. So I really can't complain.
Promise, it's great to have you on the channel. My first question is kind of along those lines, the Super Cup. Obviously, some might have missed it. I remember myself, I watched the game. It was like mid-July. I'm thinking, what the heck is European football doing on in mid-July? But it was cool to, of course, go out, see you play. You guys win a trophy. How special is that? It's not often sometimes, at a club like that, you're in a Belgian league, very prestigious league, and you win a trophy right away. How special is that feeling?
Uh, that was amazing because I think my entire youth career from Brampton, Brampton, Vaughan, TFC, especially Vaughan, I was so used to winning trophies. Like winning trophies was like it basically came natural, and then big fish, small pond, and then I ended up in Europe, and I never smelt a trophy ever since. The closest I got was an FA Cup final, and we ended up losing. So to come here and win a European trophy was like it was really amazing, to be honest, and the celebrations after, and it was like there was no better way to kind of start off your your run at a team than win a trophy, which was lucky for me and a few other guys that signed, just before. And I got to play in it, which was also a lot. And that game was not overwhelming, but it was loud. It could be that loud, but it was so nice. And at the end, we ended up winning 2-1. And I was like, in the change room, it was like a euphoric feeling, honestly. I kind of held my medal and I stared at it for a good 30 minutes. I'm like, damn. Because the last one I got just said finalist. This one said winner. So I was like, this must be the feeling. But yeah, it was really, really like definitely one of the moments I'll remember forever.
There's a nice picture of you on Instagram. You got the medal on. You're holding the Pro League Super Cup. You look pretty
Yeah.
happy. It looks like you enjoy winning. But something else
Yeah.
you enjoy doing is scoring goals. A couple of friendly goals as well. You opened up your account for Union Saint Gillois against Westerlo. What was it like to? I mean, that's what you want to do. You're a striker. You're scoring goals. How did it feel to kind of, I guess, score in preseason, which was important? But how about opening your account against Westerlo?
That was really important because I had a off the field bet with one of the let's call it management, where if I get 15, he gives me something I've been asking for. It's not money, but it's like an off the field bet where I said if I reach a certain number of goals. So every time I see him now, I let him know, like since the beginning of the season, like, hey, we are this many goals close to reaching that point. But no, it was really important for me to score early, honestly, just to get the wheel rolling. And honestly, to prove to myself that, even though Estonia scored a bunch, right? And Belgium is a bunch of steps over, but like I could also do it here. Like it's the same formula, just harder competition. So scoring was very important. Also, like just being dominant on the field, also because scoring is fun, but like setting up your teammates to score and different, just being dangerous on the attack. But preseason goals were important to me. The as much as the league goals and every goals that are going to come. But I think it was very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? It's just Yeah, it was just important to get, the first one and then get the ball rolling and continue.
I guess we'll just rewind a bit, but of course you're a Canadian who's come through the TFC Academy, but you've kind of had a very unique route to where you are. I mean, Croatia, Malta, Estonia. It's maybe not what people are used to seeing from a Canadian. What have you kind of made of this unique journey, though? I imagine it's shaped you in a lot of ways, and just seeing different cultures, different styles of play. What have you kind of made of that?
Uh, it was honestly it was very unique, but like I feel like each part of that journey was necessary into me being the striker that I am. Because I feel like when I first went to Croatia, like I was playing second div, third div, and it was so clear that my technique was okay, but then I got there and like they were like, nah, this isn't it. And I remember at times like I'll be pulled aside from training and they would just have one-on-one ball sessions with me on where I should strike a ball. And I'm like, yo, I'm like a grown man. I know how to strike a ball. Right. But Croatia was like really helped me work on my technique. And then I ended up in USA and I got there and I'm no more the biggest guy on the field. American League is a lot bigger. And from there, I was honestly taught how to play with my back to goal because we had like two or three, Kevin Garcia, who played in the MLS and then USL, and then we had Mo Jadama. And these guys were huge and they were strong. And if I tried to turn in behind, I would be hit with a ruthless shoulder check. And I was like, okay, if I can't do that, let me try to play with my back to goal because at least I'm, in between him and the ball. And that's where I kind of learned that. When I got to Malta, I feel like I kind of learned how to play with a striker because I had a very good striking partner called Mario Fontanella. And he taught me how to kind of be a team, not a team player, but a dynamic duo with somebody. And we were both opposites of each other. I was big, strong. He was small and quick. So kind of had the best of both worlds and I kind of understood how, what it meant to play with, another striker. And then in Estonia, it was kind of just gaining fitness and putting, everything together. So even though my journey was very unusual, I feel like each part of that journey was like, God's plan into making me, the striker that I am to get where I am now. So yeah, very unusual to be honest. But yeah, I think that's the whole brunt of it.
Now, you're not the only player to leave a Canadian MLS academy to go find success. There's actually been quite a few from TFC, Montreal, the Whitecaps that were born between the mid-90s, early 2000s who've had to leave to make a name for themselves. Some of them are actually on the Canadian men's national team right now. We have Theo Bair, Jason Russell-Rowe, Jacob Schaffelberg, Nico Seeger. As someone who's undergone that very similar kind of journey, what are your thoughts on that generational gap that was created? And now it's kind of being fixed thanks to CPL and MLS Next Pro.
People that leave or choose to leave like MLS academies are usually like the one big opportunity to pursue or continue soccer, and I got like that was let go. But I think more players should trust themselves because I think I saw a lot of people get let go with me, before me, or after me, and they kind of like just hung the boots up. But my parents encouraged me to keep going if it was what I loved. So now, even with CPL, if people aren't in like Montreal, Vancouver, all these things, like there are other options for players to continue to progress as soccer players and continue to work on themselves. And honestly, I think CPL was like heavily needed. It's not perfect now, but it was heavily needed to give players a platform, just to do that. And even now, I know like one of the CPL strikers got signed here to a Division II team in Belgium recently, Kwasi. And he's very young and, he balled out and now, he's in the same place at me. So it just proves that players can, make that jump from Canada right into Europe.
Of course, Promise, you kind of mentioned at Estonia, everything kind of clicked for you, all the learnings, all the lessons. You ended up just this year, I think we tallied it. You had 17 goals in 18 games, all comps. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this. What was it like to have a purple patch like that as a forward? I mean, that's goal almost every game. That must have been pretty nice to just have
Man, it was very, very fun because I had a team that I thought was like that I was very well on. That I was kind of like the cherry on top. I wasn't really the ice cream, you know. I was just the last person to touch the ball before it went in, to be honest. But yeah, 17, yeah, 17 and 18. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, league cup goals. Yeah. So there it was. Let me think. We're gonna have to pause.
It's all good. You take your time.
That team was to me like it was in Estonia. It was very perfect. Like we had players that I worked together well with, and so, you know, some of those like my striking partner there, Alex. His contract is up soon, but now he was yeah, like I said in Malta. I learned to work what it means to play in a front two. You know, with a striking partner, and together we were very good. And alone, we were great. Together, I think we were kind of perfect in the Estonian league and assists, goals, pressuring, just being a constant threat. So in Estonia, like, yeah, I scored 17 and 18, but like I was just the last person to touch the ball before it went in. It's not like I carried it from a goalkeeper and then dribbled the whole team and then tapped it in. Like, yeah, so even though I had solo goals, but like, you know, teammates are always running around the field for you, and likewise.
Beautiful. Now, I'm curious to see maybe what went into the conversations about you going to Belgium, because it's a great transition league, and it's been a great transition league for Canadians. We've seen Jonathan David make the move to Ligue 1. We've seen Tejan Buchanan make the move to Serie A. Did that and any of those moves go into your mind when you decided to make the jump to Belgium?
They were in my mind, but it wasn't the main reason. I think when they approached my management, I was kind of like I already knew who they were, mostly because of Victor Boniface is one of my favorite strikers, and he's also Nigerian. And they kind of like called me, and they mapped out a very detailed plan, and you know they've been tracking me for some time. And when I say it was a very detailed track, I was kind of scared about, you know, how they found out certain things about me. And I was like, there's no way, you know, people know that. And they sat down and they really described what their club meant to them and the values they were trying to uphold at their club and instill in their players, you know, hard work, perseverance. But they really showed that it was, to them, it's more about character and effort and things like that. And like, sure, we had I had other choices of where to go during the summer, yada yada yada. But it was really after that call that I kind of sat down, right? And I'm like, these people really showed, they really did their research, and nobody's doing their research for something that they don't care about, or they're, you know, not invested in. So that was really, as soon as I had that call, like every other, I kind of told my agency, like every other option is like, is really a no-go, because I feel like those guys only saw me because somebody posted a stat somewhere or I started scoring. These guys were like, we didn't care about the goals. We saw other things, and that's why we chose to, you know, come and try to attain you.
Of course, before you ended up at USG, like you mentioned, you had a lot of interests, you know, including teams from MLS, and I was kind of interested about that, you know, because I guess first off, what were some of the things maybe you liked about those MLS proposals? Do you feel it's helped to see a lot more Canadians playing in the league thanks to some rule changes? And do you feel that it now is a viable opportunity for you know, for guys looking to make the jump up to top five leagues? I'm sure moves like Moise Bombitos is kind of helping that impression.
I feel like that's true. In fact, the main reason I wanted to play at MLS because I'm close to home. Like, my family's close, and I played in the USL. I grew up in the MLS academy, so I'm familiar with the teams, the culture behind MLS, and honestly, I was like, MLS would be sick. Before I ended up in USG, I was like, a move to MLS would be like, it's a next step, because MLS now, let's be honest, is it's a very difficult league with a lot of foreigners that are very, very talented, and it's North America. I grew up in North America, so it wouldn't be that much of a jump to say, yeah, let's play in the MLS and have fun there.
So we're going to move on from club talk to country talk. You're dual national. I've chatted with you about this before. You've represented Nigeria at the youth level. You're eligible to represent Canada. So I'm just curious, and you can answer this however obviously you want to. What is your goal right now? Are you keeping both doors open? Do you have one in mind? Let the audience know.
Is it bad to say I have both in mind and both doors are still open?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's the honest truth. Like, I grew up in both countries. I'm close to both countries, so it's not really. It's going to be a difficult choice to make soon in the future. But yeah, like I grew up most of my life in Canada. I think I still remember the Canadian anthem, even though I haven't sung it in a while. But no, definitely would love to play for Canada. It's one of the goals that me and my agents set before maybe a year ago when we started really working together very intensely. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning more towards Canada every day, especially with like this new exciting group. And like I know some of the guys on the national team, like we've seen them play, we've played against each other, maybe we've trained together. So it's not like it's a completely like unfamiliar group. Some of these guys I watched or trained against while I was growing up, at TFC or Vaughan. So yeah, and I think it's a very, very exciting, group to be a part of. And it's cool to put a flag on your chest.
Now, promise, I have one important question to kind of follow that up with. I'm curious to get your definition of what it means to be a dual national, because I want to use a player as an example right now, and it's a player that a lot of Canadians have followed for years and wanted to see represent Canada, and that was Mo Farsi. He had an excellent career path throughout Canada, and it would have been great to see him with the national team. But whether it was his heart or maybe opportunities, I don't know because I haven't talked to him. But he decided to go with Algeria. He's actually right now at time of recording just picked up his first assist and his first start for Algeria, and I feel very happy for him. And I'll never judge a player for deciding to go one route over another because I just don't know everything that goes into that decision. So as a player who you just said you're interested in potentially representing both countries because you have a love for both. What does it mean to be a dual national?
I feel like the biggest players on the big stage usually get judged when they pick a nationality for, maybe they pick a nationality that maybe it's a country they were born in rather than a country that they are, genetically from or like ancestors are from. But I feel like it's just having more options. And I feel like when you make that choice, it comes with a lot of responsibility to play your heart out for that team or that country, to be honest. So the world's so in the 21st century, the world's so like interconnected that a lot of people end up living or what's the word I'm looking for here? The world's interconnected, so there's so many people that are from one place and from another place, or their parents are from one place or from another place. So there's no one distinct answer like there was in the past. You don't really see cultures intermingling like that, and especially Canada. Canada is a melting pot of culture. There's different regions with different people from all over the world. So I honestly just think it's which country, where your heart goes, but there's also, football decisions you have to make. But it's just, where your heart lands, and wherever it lands, you just have to play your heart out for the country for giving you that chance in the first place to represent, them, because it's honestly a responsibility and it's an honor at both times.
That's it. It's that intersectionality, right? Like just because if you pick Canadian, you can still be Nigerian. You could pick Nigerian, you can still feel Canadian. That can sometimes be the tough thing, the level, right? When you have to make a choice, because in real life, you can be both. You can share.
You can be both, yeah.
But I guess kind of on that theme, have you had any contact with Canada, Jesse Marsh, maybe someone from the staff, even if it's just been a short like, hey, we know you're out there, we see you, you keep getting minutes, or is it just kind of been you're just doing your thing, you haven't heard anything yet?
Me personally, just doing my thing. I leave all that to the agency. That's not my business. I think I honestly just we have like a policy where it's like, unless it's time to sign something or you need to give me a definitive answer on something, or you need me to tell you something, I don't want to hear like if buts and maybes because I feel like there's so much pressure and anxiety. It's just better to be relaxed and let them handle that brunt of work. And when the time has come, they'll let you know. And yeah, because the transfer saga in that January window, oh, it spun my head. I'm not gonna lie, but thankfully I kept it on and just kept playing. So better things will come. But I let them handle it.
That's fair. We'll switch for the final couple questions to a lighter one, and that is you're about to get your very first FC25 card. So I'm curious to see if you have any predictions around it. Can you give me like an overall prediction? What do you expect to maybe be your highest attribute, pace, shooting? What are you expecting from your card?
I expect at least I'm gonna shoot high.
Okay.
non-rare silver, or a rare bronze. Okay, let's be honest. My first one saying don't give me no rare silver, but I feel like my highest attributes have to be physicality, pace, and shooting. I don't think they're gonna give me high dribbling compared to like the rest of my stats. I feel like the higher ones, I think my dribbling is gonna be one of the lower stats. Passing might be one of the lower stats. What's the last one I'm missing? It's
defending.
Physical, defending. Oh God,
they're never kind of strikers either.
No, they're never. As long as I get like high work rate on offense, at least 2 stars on both. And to be honest, I think I'm just gonna play super hard this season to make sure I get like one of those informs or like future stars cards. And then I definitely would get like a bigger copy of it because I didn't get the 24, so I may get the 25 if I'm because I'm on it. Might as well you get it and then use myself in game. And it'd be funny just to see an ultimate team of like high rated players, and I put myself dead center front with like a 64 or something.
We'll give you some motivation. Alex and I interviewed Theo Bear. I think last year he got an inform card, and in middle of the interview, he walked behind us, picked up his card, and just kind of like sat there with it. So they'll send it to you. You gotta get your club to get them. If you get the inform, to send you it, because then you can just have it in your background.
I would, bro. It call me selfish, but I'm definitely like making an ultimate team of just powerhouses, and I'll center everything around my little. I think I'll get like a 66 or a 67. Maybe if I'm being generous, maybe like a 70, but we'll definitely see. That's actually exciting. You use myself in the game now. Finally, it's about time.
I love the honesty because I know it's something we always say. Often, guys, the pro guys will keep it like tight-lipped. Like, yeah, no, like it's cool to be an FC. No, it's cool. Like, own it. It's cool to have your card and like to be in a game that we all grew up playing, right?
Bro, even when the Super Cup game. I was doing like the warm-ups and I ended up on the other side. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Mignolet. And I'm like, I was next to him, like, I can't remember, like sometime during the warm-up. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, good luck for the match. And I'm like, good luck to you too. By the way, I used to use you in FIFA a lot. I use you in FIFA, bro. That's kind of crazy. And I wish I had scored because that would have been so much more of a flex. Like I had like 2 or 3 chances in that Super Cup, but like they just got away from me. But even I think this week was Toby. We have Antwerp. Toby Under was on that. As soon as I body him, first thing I'm telling him was like, yeah, good game. Used to use you on FIFA, so it's kind of cool to play against you.
Well, I guess last one we have on that regard. You've had some good celebrations, including Estonia. You had some good anime celebrations. If say in FIFA, what signature celly would you pick if you had the choice to throw one in? And when you press X, that's your celly.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's I've kept this. I never knew how to do the celebrations when I was playing when I was a kid. Like I just didn't invest time in the celebrations. So I used to button mash, but then I can't remember what button it was. There was a celebration that when you score, it doesn't actually like cut. It doesn't like make a close cam to your player. He just runs across the field, shaking his hand like this. And when I play with my homeboy, he like get pissed because that's the only celebration I would do. So because the camera doesn't cut, it just keeps the celebration going. So if you avoid all your players, you can run back to half field and continue just shaking your wrist. And he used to get pissed because move on with the game and like let's continue.
All right. Well, now for your next goal, I'm expecting that celebration. I want to see you go to the
Did a
middle of the pit.
That was too hot.
Just all, yeah.
Just shit. That was disgusting.
All right. We'll be watching for it. But that is all we have on today's video. I really appreciate the time and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.